Hey, what is going on, my friend? And welcome to another episode of Unlocking Excellence with your main man, Eric Schwafel, coming at you today with some tips and tricks and keys to unlocking an excellent life in whatever way that means for you. Now, do you know what excellence is? Are you sure you know what excellence is? If you don't, go to episode number 1, the intro to excellence, where we talk a little bit more about it, and then episode 2, and then you'll find that each episode they end up building on each other, right? So I would highly encourage you to start with episode number 1. Today we are finishing our series on the Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn. So with that, make sure, right, if you're listening to this today, then you start with the first series of abundance that we end up that we have, right? Chapter 1. And I had somebody reach out to me the other day and let me know, like, when they first started listening to the series of abundance, they thought to themselves, what is this? What is Eric talking about? And then a couple of weeks later, we have gone through some coaching. They listened to it again. They're like, oh my gosh, this is absolute gold. This is how you do things. This is how you make shit happen. And it's true. This is how you do things. This is how you make it happen. It's all about the spiritual. It's about the unseen first, as above, so below, right? One right after the other. And so with that, make sure that you're taking notes, that you're taking action, that you're implementing this stuff every single day, because look, man, it makes the difference. Knowing that there's only one power instead of two, being able to transmute negativity and make it into something that you want it to be, it makes all the difference, right? It makes all the difference. So today we're talking about chapter 10, denials and affirmations. It's going to be a good one. So with this, y'all, I just want to make sure that you start, of course, with number 1, chapter 1, if you haven't listened to the rest of them. And then the other thing that I want to definitely be sure of is that you know where to find this information. So if you want this, I have the outline. I have a document, a link that I can send you where you can follow along with this piece by piece, or you can print it out and have it on your own. What I've been doing is, on my own, I've been writing this stuff out and in my journal. And let's see, I think I'm on chapter, yep, I just finished chapter 3, so I'm moving on to chapter 4 with it. And man, it's weird. It's not really weird, but it's pertinent how a lot of the information that I end up writing or learning or sharing with you, it ends up being used in my life like the very next day, if not the same day. So, without further ado, chapter 10, denials and affirmations. Now, remember, I'm going to be reading this from the outline, and then I'm going to be adding some stuff to it, meaning my own knowledge and wisdom that I've come over time. So take everything with a grain of salt. If it works, great. If it doesn't, leave it, and then we're going to have some fun together. All right. So number 1 from chapter 10, denials and affirmations. Thou shalt also decree a thing. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. And the light shall shine upon thy ways. Job 22:28. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. And the light shall shine upon thy ways. Quote, all the good that is to be made manifest in man's life is already an accomplished fact in divine mind and is released through man's recognition or spoken word. So he must be careful to decree that only the divine idea be made manifest, for often he decrees through his idle words fail or misfortune. It is therefore of the utmost importance to word one's demands correctly, and always make the demand for the divine right thing, and that it may manifest under grace in the perfect way. Woo! Thou shalt also decree a thing. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. All the good that is to be made manifest in man's life is already an accomplished fact in divine mind and is released through man's recognition or spoken word. So he must be careful to decree that only the divine idea be made manifest, for often he decrees through his idle words failure or misfortune. It is therefore of the utmost importance to word one's demands correctly and always make the demand for the right thing and always make the demand for the divine right thing that it may manifest, quote, under grace in a perfect way, end quote. Y'all, you got to make sure that what you have is divinely inspired. I tell my clients this all the time. It makes no sense to create or to wish from the conscious mind. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, think about this. You have the superconscious, you have the conscious, and then you have the subconscious, right? The conscious is only conscious of what it knows. The subconscious is essentially the soul, the spirit, and the superconscious is the higher self and high in God. How many times with our conscious mind do we create from a limited place, a limited aspect, because we can't see the whole picture? The answer is all the time. We're always creating from a limited place with our conscious mind. So what if we just let our conscious mind step out the way and we let the superconscious mind do everything that it needs to us? What if we just said, Lord, within me, God, whatever your word is, what if you said, send me exactly what I need by divine right, under grace, in a perfect way? Whew. What if you were to say something like that? Do you think that the universe, that God would know what you're talking about? All the good that is to be made manifest in man's life is already accomplished fact in divine mind and is released through man's recognition or spoken word. So we must be careful to decree that only the divine idea be made manifest, for often he decrees through his idle words. So the divine idea for my perfect life, I wish or I pray that it be downloaded into my thought processes under grace in a perfect way. Number 2, as your understanding grows, demand enormous sums of money by divine right under grace in perfect ways. It is impossible for man to release more than he thinks possible. We are bound by limits of our subconscious. Man often demands a specific amount and receives it when he just as well could have asked for more. As your understandings grow, demanding more enormous sums of money by divine right. Experiment with yourself, man. Play with this shit, right? See and feel and be the person that you want to see, feel, and be, and notice how that ends up affecting you in all of the right ways, okay? Play with it. There was one day that I ended up playing with Africa, and what I mean by that is I wanted to see, let me project my thoughts out into the universe, into the world, and see what I get back. And it was interesting results. Let's just say that. I have a connection with Africa because my mom was born and raised in Africa. So I decided, well, let me see what I can bring up with this. So within a day of focusing on Africa and focusing on giraffes, I got somebody from Nigeria who ended up liking me on Bumble. We matched, right? I never match with people on these dating apps. And I matched with somebody from Nigeria who said that they were coming to Louisiana. I'm like, great, that's cool. About a day or two earlier, somebody on Instagram messaged me, a doctor from a Nigerian tribe who was a spiritual doctor for the secret religion of the people. And the religion was real. It was like I can't remember. It was like OBG or OBJ or something like that. I can't remember, but it was real. And it was the religion of Nigeria, and he was the doctor certification and all that. So he's messaging me, telling me that I've been hexed by somebody, and I'm like, oh God, maybe they're about to ask me for some money, right? And I asked him where he was from, Nigeria. So that was within 2-3 days of each other, and then I kept focusing. And then one day my dad's working out at the gym, and he as he's about to leave, he goes into his car. He comes back out. He has this box. He gives it to me. He says it's a box that he got in Africa when he was in Africa, because my dad's been to Africa a bunch. And I asked him where he got it from. And he said Benin, where he was from, where he was visiting and he was doing his work. But originally it probably came from Nigeria. What? Excuse me. What? So when you focus on something, it grows. Make sure that your focus and your intent is in the right place. And then, of course, as it says here, right, we are boundless. We are bound by the limits of our subconscious. So that's why it's so important to do subconscious reprogramming so that you can change your subconscious identity, because what you bring into your life isn't just from your conscious choices, it's from your subconscious and unconscious choices too. Man often demands a specific amount of money and receives it when he could just as well ask for more. Ask for more. If you're going to ask for $1,000, double it, triple it, 10x it, right? And you'll get it. When making demands, always start at your journey's end. Always start at the end. Always start with what you're going to have. Declare that you have already received. Continually affirming establishes the reality in the subconscious. But if you had perfect faith, it would not be necessary to make the demand more than once. The method taught by divine science to have perfect faith. Never plead or supplicate, but give thanks repeatedly. Prayer is command and demand, praise and thanksgiving. The student's job is to make him believe that with God, all things are possible. That was number 3. Number 4, never compromise, never settle for less. Father, I'll take nothing less than I've asked for or more. Then stand. Demonstrations often come at the 11th hour because then the mind gives up, allowing the divine mind to come through. Oh, okay. When making demands, I'm repeating number 3. When making demands, always start at your journey's end. Declare that you have already received. Okay, you already have it. I'm so grateful and thankful that this thing is in my life. I'm so relieved that it's here. Continually affirming establishes the reality in the subconscious. I'm so thankful that it's arrived. I'm so thankful that it's arrived. You repeat that, right? Now, here's the thing. Continually affirming establishes the reality in the subconscious. But if you had perfect faith, it would not be necessary to make the demand more than once. So how do you have perfect faith? By never pleading or supplicating, but giving thanks repeatedly. Prayer is command and demand. Praise and thanksgiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I praise you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I praise you. The student's job is to make himself believe that with God, all things are possible. And it's true. And here's the thing, right? If we are consciousness, if we're not the body, we're consciousness of God, of the divine mind. So through the divine mind, guess what ends up happening? We bring the divine mind into everything that we do because we are that at our core and our source. So what if we just realize that we do already bring spirit into everything? How much could that change? Never compromise, never settle for less. Tell the Father, Father, I'll take nothing less than I've asked for or more. Nothing less than what I've asked for or more. Then you stand. I'm going to stand in it. Demonstrations come at the last hour, the 11th hour, because then the mind gives up, allowing the divine mind to come through. When your conscious mind finally says, fuck it, that's when God goes to work. Because we try to figure shit out, and guess what? We can never figure shit out on our own, not as good as what we wanted to anyway. 2 attitudes cause loss: depreciating, fear, or loss. 2 attitudes cause loss. These 2, depreciating is one attitude that causes loss, and fear of loss causes loss. Number 6. Ooh, let me do that one more time. All right. 2 attitudes cause loss. It's A, the depreciating attitude causes loss. The depreciating attitude causes loss. And then the fear of loss causes loss. Always follow a denial with an affirmation. This one. If you got anything from all 60 whatever podcasts I have, if you got anything from it, get this one. Always follow a denial with an affirmation. 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 All right. So what does that mean? I can't do this. Yes, I can. Oh, there's no way I'm going to have enough time. I have plenty of enough time. Oh, this person said that they aren't going to be able to do it, and now I'm shit out of luck. I have the most amount of luck than any motherfucker on the planet. Immediately follow a denial with an affirmation. 7, note that the author speaks of what we would today call non-local communication or healing. Number 8, visualizing versus visioning. Non-local communication and healing is like, you're not in the same place and you're doing it. You're able to talk, you're able to hear what people say. It's like telepathy in a way. And visualizing versus visioning. Visualizing is governed by the reasoning mind. Visualizing is governed by the reasoning mind. Visioning is intuitive, governed by the superconscious mind. Train your mind to be sensitive to divine images coming from the superconscious. Know that they are revealing the square of life, right? Health, wealth, remember? Know that they will transcend. Know that they will transcend the limits of reason. Number 9, Christ was both person and principle. Scovel Shinn, the author, saw many healings accomplished by using the words in the name of Jesus Christ. The Christ within is the image of God, the perfect self. The Christ within is the image of God, the perfect self. That's within you. Christ is within you, the Christ within. Mastery. Man should make an art of thinking. Oh, if you could take something from this. Man should make an art of thinking. He should paint only divine designs on the canvas of his mind. He should paint only divine designs on the canvas of his mind, canvas. All power is given man through right thinking to create heaven on earth. This is the goal of the game of life. The rules are: have fearless faith, be in non-resistance, and love. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:1. Mastery, okay? Listen to this one. I'm going to read it super slow. It might sound dumb. Man should make an art of thinking. Man should make an art of thinking. He should paint only the divine designs on the canvas of his mind. He should paint only the divine designs of the canvas of his mind. All power is given man through right thinking to create heaven on earth. I'd repeat that. So like I say it, you say it. All power is given man through right thinking to create heaven on earth. This is the goal of the game of life, is to create heaven on earth. These are the rules. Repeat after me. The rules are: number 1, fearless faith. Number 2, non-resistance. Number 3, love. The rules are: have fearless faith, be non-resistant, love. And last but not least, Romans 12:1, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, my friend, for being here, for going through this series with me, for learning spiritual principle as told by Florence Scovel Shinn. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know, share it out, and let me know what you've gotten out of this, because it makes it, for me, it makes the difference, right? Being able to know that helping people is effective and it's impactful, right? What I'm doing is helping people, and it's impactful and it's helpful. The other thing is, I would love for you to write a review. If you listen this far, please write a review, whether you know me or you don't, you enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, I would love to make sure that I get 5 stars, but I want you to be honest. So be honest with me. And with that, I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you. Expect to see some fun interviews and some fun conversations come up here soon. And just remember and know that you are unstoppable. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. I love you. Peace.